So this week, the 49ers had a taste of their own medicine. You can see it right here. They got motioned and formation to death and out of position. So if last week, the 49ers defense, it felt like the Packers got over on them watching it, but after reviewing it, we saw the slippage. We saw the mistakes that they made, the penalties. This week, nope, it was all Detroit. You got to give Detroit credit where it's due. Ben Johnson had a great game plan. The Lions gained over 440 yards against this defense. They had them chasing their tails, but the running game, like Detroit, as you can see on this play, they were able to get outside. And all week, Steve Wilks, Nick Bosa, the defense, they were talking about how important it was to keep Detroit inside of the tackles. And it didn't happen. But what I want to talk about here, and as you can see, more motion, more change of formations before the ball's even snapped. What I want to talk about today are the fourth down decisions, right? And a lot of people are giving Dan Campbell hell for going for it on fourth down because they were up 14 points. And if you kick a field goal, you make it a 3-score game. But Dan Campbell was never going for it on fourth down. The Lions had gone for it on 22 occasions when it was 4th and 3 inside of their opponent's territory all season. They converted 18 of those. They were successful all season in the same situation. But part of the thing that I don't think enough people are realizing is, like, in football, you get 4 downs to gain 10 yards, not 1. So I'm going to go over the 3 downs leading up to each fourth down decision. On the broadcast, Greg Olsen brought up a good point on how the 49ers, they just weren't running man coverage. And as you can see here, they are in man coverage. How do I know it's man coverage? Because all of the defenders, their backs are to the quarterback, right? He's not looking at the quarterback. He's not looking at the quarterback. He's not looking at the quarterback. The 49ers, they're at their best when they're in man, in my opinion, just because their aggressive mindset. You have athletes like Dre Greenlaw, and you force the quarterback to make tight windows. So on this first down, it's really a good play call. The Lions, they're going to run a little sail concept with their best guy, Sam Laporta. Right now, he is wide open. The quarterback should be throwing the ball to a spot right now. He's taking his time, waits a half tick too long. Dre Greenlaw is able to recover just enough. And because of that, the throw has to be perfect. And that is a low percentage throw. Even though Sam Laporta looks wide open right now, when you make teams throw the ball outside of the numbers and down the field, statistically, these are about 30 to 35% throws. Like, that's the completion rate. And you're going to bank on those, right? So man coverage, force a tight window. So on that first down, the 49ers are able to force 2nd and 10. Okay, just had success in man. So come back, 2nd down, and now they're going to go back to zone, like a softer zone coverage. And here's just the difference in Dre Greenlaw's mentality when he's in man and when he's in zone. So he's at the top of the screen. It's a little stick route by Laporta, just going to run up about 5 yards and either break out or just sit down, depending on what Greenlaw does. So watch Greenlaw. He's looking in the backfield. He's trying to fill where Laporta is. And if this was man coverage, in my opinion, right, he's just looking at Laporta right now, and as soon as he goes to break, he's already there. But because his eyes are in the backfield, he has to kind of, in basketball, it's see ball, see man. So he has to have his vision on the quarterback and the Laporta, the tight end. It's not easy. So this is a free 6 yards for Detroit because of soft zone coverage. So now, 3rd and 4. I mentioned Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams and how their speed really hurt the 49ers. Here's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Obviously a terrific wide receiver. He had his way. He had a bunch of big plays. All season he's had a great year. But they hand him the ball here on 3rd and 4. And if we're going to point fingers, why wouldn't we point finger at this play instead of, the decision to go for it on 4th down? So they're going to run up the middle on 3rd and 4, hoping to obviously cut the ball in half. You don't run here if you're not going for it on 4th down already. But comes down to a play, right? Back up. The difference is this is a top 15 overall pick. This is an undrafted free agent. 2020, 2021. Michigan. So the Lions are betting against an undrafted free agent to make a block against a former first-round pick. This is how it plays out. That's an easy win for Kinlaw right there. Like, that's about as easy as it gets. He gets into his chest, has his hands on him inside, sheds a block. And that, the difference of 4th and 2, 4th and 1, it is ginormous, especially in this setting, because Lions can get under center on 4th and 1. They can turn around and hand it to Dave Montgomery and run it up with their up the middle with their interior line, but probably to the right side. It seems like this is almost an illusion, right? You would think, hey, there's nobody in between the A gaps. We have this. This is an easy check, but yeah, as you can see, That guy. Fred Warner comes from this opposite C gap and makes sure that there's nowhere to go. So, I mean, Kinlaw wins. Warner comes out of nowhere. They have Diamador Lenore up the middle. Center climbs and, I mean, doesn't get there in time. So, just a big play to keep the Lions out of 4th and 1. And then on 4th and 2, like by my estimation, this is honestly a great call by Ben Johnson. So they have condensed wide receiver, running back. Obviously, it looks like man coverage, right? They're all head up. To me, that's man coverage. So, hey, 4th down, they're in man. I like that from Steve Wilks right away. All right, and then here's what the Lions are trying to do here. So it's going to be a Hank concept, and all that means is running back goes to the flat. He's going to try to open up this throwing window, and Josh Reynolds is going to run a deep curl route. The reason that I really like this play call by the Lions is, so it's 4th and 3, right? The marker to gain is right here. If I'm Ambry Thomas, if I'm a defender, I'm sitting on any short route, and that's what most offenses do. So kudos to Johnson for running a route deeper than the sticks, but you need one of your players to make a play. And who else? Top of the line, right there, Nick Bosa. 4th and 3, need to make a play. Your best player beats his man right away. And we all know, Goff, he's immobile. Like, he cannot move. And as soon as he has to move off his initial spot, like, he's just not the same player. So right away, he knew that, all right, something good was going to happen because Bosa won here, and he's able to move Goff just enough, pressure him just enough, force an errant throw. The difference of that throw being on Reynolds' chest as opposed to him having to reach out, we can see it here. I believe Next Gen Stats had Bosa as the 4th quickest get off among all edge rushers in the NFL this year. Like, I don't know why people don't give him credit for his quick get off, but I mean, 4th and 3, it's the difference of the game right there in a lot of ways. From this angle, you'll be able to see Reynolds. I want to show this angle because, so there's Bosa obviously winning, just as clean as it gets. Left tackle barely gets a hand on him. And then the throw right there. So should an NFL receiver catch that? Probably. On 4th and 3, absolutely, I would say. But because he had to move and then reset, just sped him up. And that's why I wanted Wilks to play more man and blitz more. Obviously, this isn't a blitz, but when you get pressure on him, he's just not the same quarterback. Forces an errant throw. Reynolds can't come up with it. 49ers get off the field. So we have Greenlaw in man coverage on 1st down. We have Kinlaw winning on 3rd down. And then we have Bosa winning on 4th down. So on 3 plays, the 49ers won. And that's why they're able to get off the field. So I don't blame Campbell for going for it on 4th down. But geez, man. The 49ers look like they flipped a switch. Okay, so next series. The Lions, they move the ball. On their first 2 plays, they gain 22 and 16 yards. And then Ben Johnson decides to take a shot. Remember, I feel like I say this in every video. Between the 40s is a shot zone in football. Like, offensive coordinators are going to throw the ball down the field. And they had a great play. That was a great throw by Goff. And honestly, Jair Brown's route to the ball was not great. I think he did play well. But the false step here where he comes inside, I think he could have had an interception, right? If he just keeps running back right here, he's probably able to run under the ball. But right here as he goes in, just those 2 steps slows him down. Williams gets a step on Ambry Thomas. Ambry Thomas is he's a 4.33 guy. He's very fast. So if Williams can get a step on you, that tells me he's a 4.3 flat, 4.2 guy. I mean, he can flat out fly. He's one of the faster players in the NFL. So it really just speaks to Thomas's speed. But great throw. The call maybe was good, but if they just keep running their offense, again, I think they bail the 49ers out here by throwing the ball down the field. You just set yourself up, put yourself in an impossible situation on later downs because you fell on 1st down. So the 49ers will take it, I'm sure. But while it could have worked in hindsight, I don't know. Just wasn't a fan. And Shanahan did this with Debo as well when he ran a reverse when I felt like they were rolling and they were cooking. Just kind of takes your offense's flow out of the way. When you run these trick plays. So, okay, 2nd down. And they're going to go empty because I feel like they thought they could have some success. Spread the 49ers out, get the ball out of your hands quick so the 49ers pass rush can't get there. Man coverage. Make Jared Goff throw into these tight windows. So, man coverage on 1st down, man coverage on 2nd down. As you can see, he's not going to execute that. And that was another reason why I think the first half was so frustrating, was because the 49ers, they were sitting in these soft zones. And you're just wondering, like, hey, man, like, you got to challenge him. Watch this. I guess at the same time, you need your guys to win. And, like, that little bull rush probably affected Goff just enough to airmail that throw to Jahmyr Gibbs. But regardless, man, I think against the Chiefs, they're going to have to play man coverage. It's a lot easier to do against the Chiefs because they don't have speedy guys like Gibbs and Jameson Williams. But I think, if anything, the second half should give Wilks confidence to run more man coverage. With the personnel here, you have 33, 31, and 27. So 3 safeties, and Ambry Thomas is out of the game. So instead of putting one of the young guys in, they just moved Logan Ryan into the nickel. Here's Deommodore Lenoir. Usually he would be right here, but with Ambry out, they're going to trust him to stay on the outside. And the coverage, the blitz, is good. And why? Because they force Goff to throw the ball before he wants to. So we're just looking at the front four here quick. Who rushes, who comes? Warner drops out. Young drops out in the coverage, triggering all blitzes. So that is a simulated pressure, right? The first level defender drops out. The second level defender rushes. They're going to play some kind of combination coverage zone behind it. And that leaves Amon-Ra St. Brown open underneath. They do their job, right? They speed the quarterback up, make him throw short of the sticks. Mission accomplished. But it's 4th and 3, and it's Dan Campbell. You know damn well he's going to go for it. Why people were surprised that he went for it at any point in this game is a surprise to me. Like, that's who Dan Campbell was all season. Why would he change in this setting? So good job by Mooney Ward to make the tackle, right? Can't let him get anything after the catch. And now we move on to 4th down. So when Dan Campbell decides to go for it on 4th down, when Ben Johnson decides to go empty on 4th down, watch the top of the screen. He brings the running back in motion. He's going to chip Nick Bosa because Nick Bosa just beat him on the previous 4th down. He has 2 players blocking Nick Bosa. And what happens? Literally everybody else along the defensive line wins. Coverage doesn't really matter because the pressure gets there. So they're able to get away with zone here. If you just watch everybody, they're looking at the quarterback. That's an easy way to tell it's zone. I think Tayshaun Gibson does a good job right here of just kind of nailing down, not giving this deep over crossing route because that's the only place Goff could go here, right? So good job of just not guarding grass, getting there. But this play is on the interior line. This is why you go out and get a Javon Hargrave. This is why you invest in interior pressure because that's what flushes the quarterback from the pocket. And when the quarterback cannot move, he is not accurate. So great job there by Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave. They both win almost simultaneously at the snap. And this play is dead before it can even go. This picture right here from this angle shows you what Goff is looking at. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. By the time he's at the top of his drops, like right as we get to 2 Mississippi, bowled over, beat him, and he's going to turn the corner. Hanging in the little vor, right? This is what the 49ers need. This is what they're going to need next week, 2 weeks from now when they play the Chiefs. This is why you go out and get a player like this. This is why you pay him a ton of money. This is why you go trade for a Chase Young because when in doubt on 4th down, we need one of our 4 to win. They weren't going to let Bosa beat him, and that's okay because the 49ers have other pass rushers. So, like, I don't know how you blame Dan Campbell for that, right? He wasn't planning on, 3 49ers defenders to win, so the play didn't really stand a chance. And I think the 49ers proved in this game, in a weird way, that they're capable of flipping the switch, but they can't expect to do that against the Chiefs. They cannot play as sloppy. They cannot pursue the ball the way that they did in the first half against the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes is probably not going to give up a 14, 17-point lead. But I think the overarching theme here is that the 49ers defense, like when they needed to, they bowed up, they got off the field, and they made plays. And obviously, once they had the lead, the pass rush really woke up. But I really just want to touch on those 4th down stops because that's been a pretty big talking point here. I don't blame Dan Campbell for going for it in either situation because he has all year. And I think what it really proved is that the 49ers have one-on-one players who can make plays and affect the game.